And we're back, traders. Welcome to freetradingvideos.com. We could be up for some bullish activity here in the near future. Looking at the S&P, and we're going to zoom in here. Check this out. I'm going to zoom back out just a smidgen. You can see where we have this support line. I redrew some lines here to try to make sense of what's happening here in the markets. Today we get a hammer formation. We have a nice bull type pullback below the 20-day moving average, but finding the 50-day moving average as support and this support line coming up. We did a touch and go on this support line. You see we had support, 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 and we did a touch and go hammer formation. If we do bounce tomorrow, and if we go higher, then the high of today, which is 1280, if we go to 1281, 1282 area up here, we have a good chance of continue. We have a lot of upside potential here. 1300, I could see a nice run up to about 1300. While we're here, let's take a look at the Dow. What's interesting in the Dow is we had this symmetrical triangle type formation. We had a breakout, and then what was acting as resistance now is acting as support, and today we get a little hammer at support. But if we zoom in and you look at this a lot closer, the 20-day moving average is acting as resistance. But after seeing this hammer here, if we get higher than this candlestick, and the high was at 12,554, I'm sorry, 11,554, and if we can get up to 11,557 or so, we could see some upside potential. 11,700 right here could act as resistance like it did here. But I see some upside potential right here. And let's also take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ broke below this symmetrical triangle. A lot of people argue that the NASDAQ is a leading index to watch, and this one's breaking to the downside. But what's interesting is we're finding support at the 50-day moving average. So there again, we'll blow up the chart. And I could see a bounce here heading up, but hitting its head. I'll tell you, I see upside potential in the very near future, but then I see immediate resistance across the board. It just would not surprise me in the slightest if we don't fall in the next few days or so. Right here we have resistance, symmetrical triangle. This is the Russells, and look at this. I thought we were going to be heading down, but look how we stayed up here at resistance. We smack our head here, 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 and here. And the 20-day moving average is coming up and pinching. This is acting very bullish. So again, I really think that we're going to be bullish next couple days, but then we're going to see a sharp sell-off after that. Anything can happen in these markets, so let's just keep a close eye here. If you're still holding any longs out there in the markets, be loosey-goosey on your stops, maybe for the next day or two. Give it a little breathing room, a little more breathing room than normal, so you're not shaken out. And when it does, or if it does pop north, take those profits off the table so you don't incur any more downside if the markets were to turn around on you. So anyway, let the charts do your guiding. And I'll tell you, always watch fundamentals on a company. Fundamentals are just the numbers of the company. You want to make sure that you're in a high quality, good caliber, high pedigree companies. They tend to hold their weight and they'll hold their strength in turbulent times in the markets better than some others. And certainly sharpen up your shorting skills. You get into looking at bear ETFs. You can go to proshares.com, click on products. It'll give you a nice list of things. And something that I'm finding very interesting is financials. For the week, financials are up 5%. Just today, we're up 0.7 or almost 1%. Just today on financials, when everything else is beat down pretty good. So it's interesting to see the money and the movement in financials. So anyway, there you have it, a recap. And we'll talk to you later on. Enjoy freetradingvideos.com.